Deha Indriyamana Buddhi Prakrtibhyo vilakṣaṇam Tadvṛttisākṣiṇaṃ vidyādātmānaṃ rājavatsadā. The body, senses, mind and intellect constitute Prakriti or matter. Distinct from them, unknown to be their witness, is the Atman or self, always like a king, distinct from the crowd. Here we are introduced to the practice of being a witness to the five sheets: the gross, subtle and causal bodies. The essential quality of being a witness is to remain uninvolved. A witness in a court of law must be someone who saw what happened, but from a neutral perspective, not taking any sides. Similarly, being a witness to our three bodies requires us to consciously remain neutral and not take sides either towards likes or towards dislikes. That uninvolvement is only possible if we see ourselves as not being these sheets. That is, we see them as instruments we are using, but not identified with them in any way. They are ours, but I am not them. We are not them. This is the requirement for being a witness. Deha, body, Indriya, senses, Mana, mind, Buddhi, intellect. All of these are equipments or upadhis, and there is a difference between using an equipment and being an equipment. To help us realize the difference between using an equipment and being an equipment, we have to slow down. When we slow down, we have a tendency to step back. When we step back, we have tendency to see more. So, the mantra here is slow, step back, see. The way to make this practical is by doing this, and if we don't, then we become the tool instead of using the tool. The equipment is made up of matter, intellect and mind is made up of thoughts, breath and body is made up of cells. It is all Prakriti or matter. If we know that they are just thoughts and cells, and that they are changing, then we don't have to assume those limitations. The most valuable things in life are not the things themselves. Thoughts, cells and Prakriti are all things, but you are not that thing. Acharya Shankara says, Vidya, know this, think about this, and feel this. Vilakṣaṇam means that there is a distinction between the equipments and who you are. We are that which illumines, Tadvṛttisākṣiṇaṃ, that which can see these vrittis, which means that I am not these vrittis at all. We are different than matter. We are the spirit. In Bhagavad Gita, there is Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha means Purnatvam, or that which is full, that which is infinite. The spirit is a presence. Bhagavan says in the Gita that when you know this presence, all else is known. What he is indicating is that if you know Purusha, Purnatva, you become happy once and for all, and no other signs can do that. Bhagavan says that this is all that has to be known, and our only purpose is to be happy. Here, knowing is being. There is no theoretical knowing. Knowing means knowing is existence. Rājavatsadā, in the last quarter of this shloka, Shankara gives an example and says that the Atman is like the Raja and the equipments are like the Praja. Raja is the presence and Praja is the people. In a functional way, the Raja has nothing to gain from the Praja. The self has nothing to gain from the equipments because the self is infinite. The self is independent. What simile can reflect this witnessing better than a king who simply by his presence among his ministers gets them to do their job with perfect loyalty. If it is announced that the king is coming to a certain place without any effort from the king, all the necessary arrangements for his visit are made automatically, and people gather there in thousands. This air of authority, respect, and confidence which the king instills in his subjects merely by his presence is what Shankara wishes to convey by choosing a king as the simile for the self in this verse. A king with such faithful ministers can sleep peacefully. His kingdom runs smoothly and efficiently. He is not called upon to interfere in the state of affairs. He remains a perfect witness of all state matters. Exactly in the same way, we should exist as witness consciousness, the Supreme Self, always where, in our state of existence as witness, all the work is carried out by our body, mind, and intellect on their own. We, the witness, remain peaceful, blissful, while our body and senses perform the required functions smoothly. Witness in a court is the one who is supposed to have seen the incident but has not participated in the same, as we have told already. Similarly, while our gross body and our subtler mind, antakarana, perform all the functions, we remain as witness, always aware that we are not the one who is acting there in physical identity. That is, we are not those equipments which are performing for us. If they are all the equipment, antakarana, they are the ministers, they all work for the king, Raja, but the Raja remains independent. By his mere presence, without telling, the ministers perform. Illumined by the witness consciousness, the body mind senses perform on their own. The Atman, though sometimes mistaken as the body and the inner equipment, is always untainted and remains only as witness of the functions of the body, senses, mind, etc. A witness can never be the doer of the actions. Hence, the non-dual Atman is never tainted by any desire or any action. In the Tadvṛttisākṣiṇaṃ Viveka, which has already been covered in a separate series of sessions in the channel, Shankara, as you must be aware by now, because this Tadvṛttisākṣiṇaṃ Viveka has been dealt very elaborately in 2 or 3 parts, available in the YouTube channel. Shankara gives explanation to discriminate seer from the seen. Seer is the witness in the context of today's verse. The form is perceived and I is the perceiver. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. The I is perceived and mind is the perceiver. The mind is perceived and the witness is the perceiver. Witness is the perceiver, which is not perceived by any other. Witness is the eternal perceiver or the eternal witness, consciousness. In truth, we all are awareness which is eternal, ever free, and knower of the ultimate truth. The journey is to truly understand the self or knower, and everything apart from witness consciousness is illusion and bondage. The origin of the idea of witness consciousness, or what we call as Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness, and its practice is found in the Upanishads. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the great sage Yajnavalkya, when asked to describe Brahman, responds beautifully by saying Neti, Neti, Neti. Not this, not this, not this. Yajnavalkya emphasizes that however we conceptualize the divine, It is not that. The Advaitic approach to self-realization is that one rests in witness consciousness, and that becomes one's meditation. That is, the object of the meditation, the fructification of the meditation is to exist as consciousness. In meditation on the self, whatever thought or emotion comes, one can practice in the Yajnavalkya style, neti, and bring the attention back to the witness. Although the philosophy of neti and witnessing of phenomena was developed by these Vedic sages as a spiritual philosophy, it has the effect of creating a better understanding of the nature of our mind as well. All the above expressions may sound theoretical, as we are seldom able to experience ourselves as witness to all that is going on within us, around us, to whatever we are doing or whatever is happening to us. But to stand as a testimony to this verse, there are self-realized masters like Swami Shivananda, Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Paramahamsa Yogananda, and of course Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ma Amritanandamayi, and so on. All of them were or are running a massive spiritual organization in their mission, and in most of their organization there are or there were major activities. May it be hospitals or educational institutions or any other activity. These were all besides their spiritual center, imparting spiritual knowledge to disciples and to public. Imagine how much work is involved in managing such vast institution. Still, those who have observed these masters from close quarters sincerely and with reverence would have known that while their body may be involved for 14 to 18 hours a day non-stop, the peace and the bliss radiated by them would clearly reveal how they exist as witness to all that is going on around them. In brief, without explaining in detail, as it is a one-to-one experience, he, the one who is addressing you, was fortunate to sit near to one such master living in the contemporary world for more than 45 minutes and was observing the master and was experiencing the peace radiated by the master. And he knew for sure that the master had nothing to do with the activities, the discussions, the interactions of the devotees which was going on continuously, ceaselessly in those 45 minutes. The master in reality existed as a mere witness consciousness to whatever the master's body was undertaking in the master's mission. And when we speak of our beloved Sai, in his human aspect, in his mission, upon taking a human form, how many hospitals, the ashram and the university and the colleges, various colleges under the university, and how many things he had to handle during the period he existed in the form. Still, how he existed. We know that he is beyond any comparison. He is Purna Avatar, but having taken a physical frame, physical body, existing in physical form, through his existence, he taught to the vast humanity, especially his devotees, on how to exist as witness consciousness, even while performing your dharma non-stop. This verse talks about being witness to one's gross, subtle and causal body, to one's action in the world. And as far as our Sai is concerned, leave alone witness, being a witness to his body's functioning, he stood as witness to the functioning, the right and the wrong actions of the entire human race. And still, what a bliss! That divine aura radiated in the Sai Kulwant Hall when he floated amongst a sea of devotees gathered there. Rightly, therefore, while the verse gives the example of king standing as witness in his kingdom, his darbar, and yet remaining peaceful, blissful as witness consciousness, when it comes to Bhagavan, we learnt and sang these bhajans in Southern when we addressed him as Prashanti Mandir ke Maharaja Partipuri Tirana. And then we followed that with another bhajan where we reverentially sang his glory, Shiva Shakti Avatar Sai Purna Avatar Rajavatsadā Satya Sai Maharaj. Such a state of existence can be known by seeing such masters and such incarnations, and can be experienced only when one exists verily as witness consciousness, unperturbed by whatever that happens to him, his family, his near and far people, his society, the world at large. The wonder of wonders is that when a realized seer actually exists as witness consciousness, and only upon existing as witness consciousness, he actually transcends the awareness of his existing as witness consciousness. This is the beauty. It is only at his existence in the world, relative to the world, he can be said to be existing as witness. But at absolute level of existence, which is his state of existence 24/7 internally, he transcends the creation. He transcends the awareness of being existing as witness consciousness. He is the Raja of the Rajas, Raja the Raj, without the awareness of being existing as Raja the Raj. For the world he is Raja the Raj. For the world he may be consciousness. For him at absolute level as absolute consciousness, he exists beyond the beyond. Prostrations to all the realized masters who have existed thus as beyond witness consciousness and have motivated thousands and thousands of mumukshu sadhakas by their mere pure existence. Hari Om Tat Sat.